The movie begins in outer space with a huge alien mothership. Inside, a creature watches a recording of Thomas Whitmore's speech from the battle that happened 20 years ago. The creature makes a menacing sound, and then Whitmore suddenly wakes up, startled, as he had been having a nightmare. In the present day, human civilization has been restored, and there is relative peace among nations after humanity successfully defended against the alien attacks. Major cities, including Washington, D.C., have been rebuilt and upgraded with advanced technology. The current president, Elizabeth Lanford, is practicing her speech to commemorate the victory that took place 20 years ago in 1996. She gives credit to Patricia, the daughter of Thomas Whitmore, for writing the excellent speech. President Lanford welcomes Dylan DeBrow Hiller, the captain of a military pilot and the son of Stephen Hiller, who passed away years after the battle. Patricia and Dylan greet each other warmly as they are old friends. Patricia also reminds Dylan to be friendly to Jake, her fiancé, who is currently stationed on the moon base. At the same time, Jake Morrison is on the moon, working at the Space Defense Station alongside his best friend, Charlie. The machine loosens and nearly collapses onto the base, but Jake uses his pod to lift and safely secure it. He later gets criticized for it by his superior, General Zhang Lao. Zhang grounds him until further notice, meaning he won't pilot any aircraft for a while. General Joshua Adams arrives at the Space Defense Headquarters in Area 51, Nevada. He gets called to the alien prison, where captive aliens have been kept alive since the first battle. For the past 20 years, they have been catatonic. Still, suddenly, a couple of hours ago, they all became animated and agitated. Director David Levinson arrives with Floyd Rosenberg, a government-appointed controller on a UN research mission in Central Africa. They're at a base to meet warlord Dikembe Umbutu. There, David runs into an old flame, Dr. Catherine Marceau. They're at the site of a crashed alien ship. Umbutu tells them that the ship's lights turned on themselves 2 days ago. David and Catherine determined that the boat was drilling into the Earth at that point. It stopped when they blew up the mothership. However, they're still determining precisely why they were preparing. Umbutu tells them how he and his men fought the aliens and seized their weapons. The ship they have found has also sent a distress call to its home planet. They sent the distress call 20 years ago, but someone has finally answered it. At the moon base, Jake and Patricia video call each other. Patricia tells him about her encounter with Dylan. She tells him they should finally talk since Jake almost accidentally killed him during training. Their call is cut short by a power surge in the base, and Patricia looks sadly at her, Jake, and Dylan's picture during their training. Patricia was a pilot for the military, but she resigned to take care of her father, who was more frail and disturbed after the invasion. The International Legacy Squadron, headed by Dylan as captain, takes off for the moon base. Charlie immediately gets obsessed with one of the pilots, Rain Lao, who coincidentally is General Zhang Lao's niece. Charlie tells Jake how Rain Lao is Charlie's soulmate in the moon base's cafeteria. Silence falls upon the room as Dylan walks in, ready to confront Jake. Dylan returns the favor by punching Jake in the face. Jiang asks Jake about it, but he only says that he slipped because the floor was slippery. Later that night, Jake watches a video from their flight training years ago. Dylan's plane crashed because of Jake's cockiness. Still, fortunately, Dylan was able to use the ejector seat to save his life. After all this time, Jake still feels guilty about it, as it also causes their friendship to fall apart. In Marilyn Whitmore Hospital, Area 51, Dr. Isaacs visits his partner, Dr. Brakish Okun, who has been in a coma for 20 years. He brought him another pot of orchids as a gift and a scarf he knitted. He puts it on Brakish when suddenly he jolts up awake. Meanwhile, General Adams gets a report from the Hubble telescope. There's some force pulling at Saturn's rings. Their defense based on one of Saturn's moons is also gone, as is its moon. General Adams puts out a red alert, informing everyone of a possible attack from outer space. In Africa, David gets a report that they've lost all contact with their Saturn base, so he orders them to contact President Lanford. Catherine tells him about her patients who have encountered the aliens, and they have all drawn about a sphere. Umbutu claims to have seen visions involving the aliens and has also drawn about the sphere. He and his people have learned to decipher the aliens' language. He claims they were getting hunted, so they had to learn to track them in return. They all get an alert in the moon base as they see a wormhole near Earth's moon. an unidentified spherical ship emerges. David tells Lanford that the ship isn't like the one that attacked them, and some of the world's council agrees to hold off until they know more, but most of them vote to attack. Considering it a threat, Lanford orders it to get shot down. The moon base team fires its laser cannon at it, sending it crashing. All teams celebrate, believing they have scored another victory against another alien species. It crashed into one of the moon's craters, with no signs of life detected. David insists on getting a team to investigate it, but Lanford tells him to do so after the celebrations. Later, Thomas Whitmore and his daughter, Patricia, watch President Lanford announce that the Earth's space defense program has successfully repelled an alien attack targeting the planet. Thomas insists that it wasn't them and that he has to tell the world. Matthew, his bodyguard, tries to calm them down by reminding him to take his medications, but Patricia dismisses him. Patricia tries to comfort her father's well-being as he insists they return, referencing the aliens that invaded 20 years ago. In Africa, Jake arrives in a stolen space tug to pick up David at the crash site of the craft on the moon, while Catherine, Umbutu, and Floyd insist on going as well. They approach it, and David says it's the same sphere from which Catherine's patients and Umbutu have been drawing. Meanwhile, David's elderly father, Julius Levinson, is at a retirement home. He advertises a book claiming it was his idea that he was responsible for saving the planet. In Washington, D.C., a celebration for the 20th anniversary of the victory over the invaders is held. Several veterans from the first alien invasion attend, including an elderly General Gray. Lanford credits the moon base team for their effort. Surprisingly, former President Thomas walks up to speak. Still, as he gets introduced, he tries to warn everyone that they're coming back. At the same time, he, Umbutu, and Breakish all experience the same sensation. An excruciating headache has occurred. At that moment, high above the Earth, an enormous ship, many times larger than the first mothership, approaches Earth. Jake tells Charlie to come to get them, and they manage to get on the ship. Jake takes over, piloting the ship, while Charlie grabs the sphere. General Adams orders the activation of their defense systems and shuts down the celebrations. The enormous alien ship has its gravity. It pulls Jake's ship back. The moon base fires at the ship, but the ship has a force field, so their attack fails. The alien ship's laser powers up, and General Jiang orders everyone to evacuate, but it's too late. Their lasers fired at the moon base, killing Jiang and several others, which Rain witnessed. Dylan orders his squadron to fall back as they can't attack the enormous ship. President Lanford ordered the orbital defense system to be initiated. Still, the alien ship shoots its lasers at it, which destroys it all. The ship moves over the Atlantic Ocean, and its gravity pulls China and Dubai, causing destruction wherever it goes. London, Shanghai, and Dubai get destroyed when skyscrapers, cars, and people levitate in the air and crash back to the ground. Jake manages to avoid debris falling from the sky as they try to make their way to Area 51. Meanwhile, Julius is riding his boat when the attack hits, and a large wave hits his boat. Amid the chaos, Dylan sees his mother, Jasmine, on a hospital rooftop as she leads a woman and her newborn baby. The woman and her baby get rescued, but Jasmine perishes when the building collapses under her, while Dylan sadly watches. Soon, Thomas and Patricia arrive at Area 51, and General Adams welcomes them inside. Breakish gets out of bed and scribbles alien symbols on the walls of his room. He follows Thomas, and they see the imprisoned aliens screaming in celebration. Thomas goes to the holding cell of a captive alien. David and Catherine also arrive, and they see Thomas locking himself in with an alien to communicate with it. The alien uses Thomas to say she is coming. Catherine approaches, showing the drawing of the sphere and asking the alien what it means. The alien grows more erratic, choking Thomas, so the soldiers shoot at it, but it grabs one of the weapons. Umbutu shows up and kills it from behind, then decapitates it. Later, Julius gets found by 4 kids driving away from Florida after being separated from their parents. Meanwhile, General Adams' team picks up an infrared reading from the new mothership, where they spot the alien queen in a chamber at the top of the craft. They get information that the alien ship has a plasma drill, and David believes that they're after the Earth's molten core, which can end all life. They figure they can stop her fleet if they can kill the Queen. Lanford authorized the retaliatory strike. Later, Jake finds Dylan and offers condolences. Jake says he knows his pain since his parents were killed in the first alien attack when he was a child. He encourages him to go out and lead the team in attacking the alien ship. A boat of men searching for gold near the drill site gets contacted, and they get offered money to send back information and help stop the drilling. They jokingly tell the government they want $100 million and get immediately given the amount. They immediately started their monitoring. Later, Julius gains consciousness and asks about his rescuers. He suggests going to his son, David, at Area 51. The newly refitted Earth Space Defense aerial fleet attacks met with heavy resistance from the mothership and a new design of alien attacker ships. The pilots fly into the ship and begin unloading on any alien that crosses their path. Dylan leads a counterattack inside the ship. However, they get ambushed as the alien releases an electromagnetic pulse. It makes their planes crash, leaving only a few survivors, including Dylan, Jake, Charlie, and Rain Lau. The alien warriors also attack Lanford's command bunker in the mountains of Colorado, killing her and most of her cabinet. At the same time, at Area 51, General Adams gets sworn in as her successor. Meanwhile, Brackish breaks the container open and uncovers a large white sphere, unlike the one shot down. Unsure of how to open it, Floyd activates it by touching it, and the sphere comes to life. The Queen's chamber aboard the large ship separates and flies off, looking for the alien sphere. Later, the sphere speaks English and explains how the race that it belongs to was extinguished by the alien harvesters. The aliens absorbed their planet's core to refuel their ships, something they have done to countless other planets. The sphere also states how it attempted to evacuate Earth, but couldn't since the moon base shot down the ship needed for the evacuation. David plans to lure the Queen to an isolated area where they can kill her with a nuclear weapon. Patricia volunteers to lead the attack, but Thomas makes it out before she can, knowing it will kill him. Later, Julius comforts the oldest girl, Sam, as she cares for her siblings and has no idea what happened to their parents. Julius takes over the car until they come across a school bus full of kids whose driver abandoned them. Julius brings the 4 kids onto the bus and drives with all the other kids. In the mothership, all surviving ESD pilots escape by hijacking enemy craft. Dylan, Jake, Charlie, and Ray navigate 2 harvester fighters to pursue the Queen's ship, heading to Area 51 to extract information from the sphere about the refugee planet. Meanwhile, the pilots all get ready to fight as David prepares himself at the site of the attack. As this happens, Julius drives the bus toward David's location. Later, Patricia leads her father's plane to the mothership. Thomas flies into the ship as the Queen's shields go down. Once she's in the trap, Thomas detonates the bombs, destroying the ship at the cost of his life. Everyone prematurely celebrates as they think the Queen is dead, but she's still alive. The enraged Queen, which stands around 100 feet high, rampages through the deserted area, attacking the pilots trying to strike her down. The drill is also getting closer to the core by the minute. David drives the bus, running away from the alien Queen. The Queen moves to attack the bus. Patricia flies her jet above the Queen and fires at her shields. She brings them down as the Queen's fleet swarms around her for protection. During the battle, Patricia lands a crucial blow that disables the Harvester Queen's shield as she's about to fire her weapon. Jake, Dylan, Charlie, and Rain arrive just in time to protect Patricia. Meanwhile, the captive aliens manage to break free from their cells and locate the sphere. The Harvester Queen, using their shared consciousness, knows the sphere's location and heads to Area 51. Floyd and Umbuda manage to eliminate the escaped aliens, but Isaacs gets shot by an alien and dies. More escaped aliens are approaching, and an enraged Brackish takes them out. The Queen and her swarm attack the base in search of the sphere. Jake, Dylan, Charlie, and Rain fly within the alien swarm, trying to gather enough speed to escape the assault. They eventually break free and attack the Queen from behind. She's gravely wounded and sheds her exoskeleton before collapsing and dying. The other aliens are defeated and the drilling stops. Once again, Earth is saved. Jake and Patricia reunite and share a kiss. Charlie asks Rain for a kiss but settles for a dinner date, making him quite happy. The mothership departs from Earth. Brackish approaches the pilot and David with the sphere, proposing that it can provide them with advanced technology and weapons to take the fight against the aliens into space before they return. The movie concludes as everyone agrees, and Brackish declares that it's time to kick alien butts. So, what do you think of this movie? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Any constructive feedback is highly appreciated. Also, did you enjoy the recap? Hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you loved it, and feel free to share this content with your friends and family as well. Please check out our channel to find even more movie recaps of your liking, and don't forget to ring the notification bell to stay updated with our future videos. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next videos.